Councilwoman Tiffany. I will call this meeting to order of the Sanitary Board on Tuesday, September the 10th. Roll call was taken. First item of business is approval of the minutes on the meeting of August 13th.
Also moved.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no. Next item is Sanitary Board, MS4 petitions, communications, and public hearings. Is there anyone here who want to speak regarding that today, this afternoon? With no one to speak, I'll go ahead and go into the next item, which is our updates. First is Arlington Sewer Extension.
I'll take that one. We started doing the sewer layout for the Arlington area, and we'll be done with that this month. And we should have a preliminary plan set put together at the end of this month, which we'll then take and review with Johnny and Jason and make sure they're good with it. And then going to recommend holding another public meeting for the people who live in Arlington so they can see where we're trying to put the sewer and hopefully work with us on the rights of way. The people we talked to out there are all excited to get sewer. It was real hot and dry when we were doing the layout, and it stunk pretty bad.
When do you think that meeting will happen?
I think we try to do it sometime this fall, in October, November.
Okay.
November, beginning of December.
November, December.
We gotta get the design far enough along where we can probably start putting some easements and stuff like that together, so if we're gathering that many people together, try to kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, and we are figuring for about 60 easements on this project, so we might need to get a right-of-way agent involved, so there would be a sheer amount of them. And also this project, the Arlington phase will take purchase of 4 properties to put lift stations on. And as part of the project, we'll be decommissioning 2 lift stations that the city already owns. The one at the bus garage and the one for the technical center over in Gore.
How many customers will we pick up?
It's like 110 or something like that.
110, 120, somewhere in there.
And we're setting it up for future extension
So
to,
we-
what's the area?
So we'll be able to add additional customers then?
Yeah, we're at 120 customers with this phase, give or take a few. And then future phases, we bring Clinton Falls in, it's about another 120. When it's extended through Gore, I think that's around 60 or 80. And then Dawson Mine Tunnel is also 60.
Phase 5?
Phase 5A. It's gonna be in the paper Friday, so thank goodness. We've worked really hard to get this one there. It will be, we sent it to the paper today, we got permission to bid, finally official permission yesterday to do it. This is the one that we're combining with the water board as well. So we're putting out 4 contracts. 3 of them are water only, the water board's doing that. And then this project is the water, storm, and sanitary downtown here. And the water's taking it all the way from Wendy's to Hardee's.
Isn't it at the same time?
Yes, we have to do it at the same time to have the contractor. So that brings up something I want to make sure the board is, the way we ended up bidding this project, because we only want 1 contractor in there at one time. We worked with Tim and Tom Amon about the best way to set up the contracts, because we got sanitary board's going to pay for the storm and sewer, the water board's going to pay for the water. Anything combined, we'll decide, who's, like, if we tear out a sidewalk, did the sewer do it, then we'll pay for it with sewer. That's the way we decided to do it. But we set them up kind of in 2, it's 1 bid form total. We're going to award it on the low bid, but water and sewer will have their own bid items. So there is an off chance that the low bid may have a little higher on the sewer than the second place did and a lot lower on water, which is just however the contractor looks at it. But that was the best way. Tom Amon and actually came up with the idea because we were going to try to separate everything out during pay estimates, but it became an issue contractually. So that's the way we came up with that. But
Was the advertising for bids going in the paper?
Yes.
When was the bid?
The bid opening will hold the pre-bid September 24th, and the bid opening will be held October 15th. Both of those will be at Thrasher, because we didn't want a contractor showing up at the water board when we're doing it here and vice versa. So we held everything at the Thrasher office over in White Oaks. So September 24th from 2 to 3 p.m. At our office, and then October 15th, starting at 10 a.m., we'll start opening contracts up. We did have to, move the money around a little bit. They were running out of debt forgiveness. I actually worked with Kim on this and your accountant. We're taking more loan on this phase and moving the debt forgiveness to the Phase B, which is what we're designing right behind it. So this one is the EEG money and loan money. The next phase should be some loan money, debt forgiveness money, and the rest of the local ARPA that we got from the city. So it is moving. Some of the sewer work will be at night from basically Wendy's up to 5th Street, and then the water work will continue all the way up to Hardee's and stuff. So it's a big project. I think total on this phase is somewhere around $9.6 million is what we're looking at for our piece of it. And so then you're going to add the water on top of that. It's exciting, moving it along. Okay.
What about 5B?
You're working on that. Let me just preface, he said I have to work on it or Drew's going to kill me. That's the way this one is moving.
We are making progress now on Phase 5B. We started putting specifications together based on equipment Drew and I have discussed and the scope of the work there. And we will have a preliminary plan set put together either late fall or early winter at the latest, and review that with Drew and make sure he's good with it and get
That's
this one out too.
Is that off the plan?
All that work will be at the plant,
All
yes.
the plan?
I think the original scope of the project had some work providing storm sewer to the Montpelier area, but I think with the cost of how Phase 5A has grown, where we're redoing sewer downtown and still leaving money for the plant, I don't know that that will fit in there.
Okay. Okay, go to considerations. The first item, consideration for approval of DEP authorized signer resolution designated city manager failed as the authorized signer on behalf of the sanitary board for the construction project. Do I have a motion?
Also move.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no. The next item is consideration for approval of adoption of a petition of sanitary board requesting issuance by the city of Clarksburg of its soil revenue bonds series 2024A clean water SRF program in the aggregate amount not to exceed $8.5 million for the purpose of financing the cost of additions, betterments, and improvements to the existing sanitary sewer system of the city.
Also move.
I'll second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no. Next item is consideration for approval of a project legal services contract between the City of Clarksburg Sanitary Board and Tim Stranko.
I just have a quick word on that, Mr. Chairman. We had discussed before that we already have a legal services agreement. We felt that was sufficient. We all agreed on that. Everybody except the bureaucrat in Charleston who wants to see a separate agreement. So this agreement recites the same terms as our existing agreement.
No change, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, at an estimated cost of $10,000, right?
Yes, sir, that fits into the engineer's budget estimate. We won't get anywhere near that. I'm not only billing for the extraordinary work we're doing in the eminent domain case.
Also move.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed by no. And the last item is consideration for approval of sewer adjustment for Summer Park PSD for a billing error they created for one of their commercial customers. I guess Kim isn't here. Is this something that we should, can anybody speak to that or anything? Drew?
I think we should probably table this till we get Jason wants to get a little bit more information and have Kim here.
Motion to
Next
table?
meeting?
Also move.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor to table this item. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by no. Reports, Tiffany is ill. Mark, do you have anything?
Nothing.
I have nothing. Kim is not here. Drew? Drew? Okay, John Worthing isn't here. Tim, do you have anything else?
Of course, the lawyer's got to talk, Mr. Farrar, you know that's the case. The inter-utility agreements that we've mailed out, we've gotten 2 signed back from Sun Valley and Eastview, and I don't think we've got any pushback from the others that I know of. We've had some questions from Eastview. Haven't heard anything, but
Were they all together? How many were all mailed?
five altogether, right?
Five of them?
6,
Six.
7.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not halfway there, but we'll chase them down. The eminent domain case, we got the right of entry from the judge. We had a conference call this morning with the judge. The property owner is not appearing in any of these hearings, so, but we'll still have to go through the process of appointing a condemnation panel and approving that we think the value of this easement is zero because we're improving the property. Finally, I'd remind you, the billing protocol, we're flipping the billing protocol, working with Kim on that. We're going to bill by the metered amount of water that the water board provided, and those satellite utilities can nominate for deductions, lost water. I mean, we'll listen to what they have to say, but we think that's going to help us with our
We're just
revenue.
gonna go with whatever the water board.
Yes, sir. That's our base number, and they can nominate, say we have 20% water loss, they can tell us that, and we can either accept it or not.
So what they did is they make a written request for an adjustment. and
Yes, sir.
Give their reason, and it would be up to the board to decide.
Yes, sir.
Does Sun Valley have their own water system?
If Sun Valley has water, no.
They use Clarksburg water?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So they all use Clarksburg water, right?
I believe so. I think Lumberport's the only one that has a plant.
Lumberport and Shenson are the only two
Shenson.
that use their own water, make their own water. Yeah.
Subject to your questions, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Dan, anything else?
The only other thing is, I was telling Mr. Stranko, we've been in talks, the power plant is looking at trying to finalize their utilities. As you know, part of it goes through, to get to us, it would have to go through the Summit Park PSD. Met with them, I was over there as the Clarksburg Sanitary Board engineer, other engineers from Thrasher with the power plant, but Summit Park said, you know, right now, we're not gonna support letting Clarksburg do it unless we can benefit financially, is essentially what they said. So, turned that back over to the power plant people, and so this is where it is, and.
Some parts said they won't, huh? They want,
What's
they want
that?
compensation of some type, is that?
Yeah, they want either to go through them, and, I mean, we get paid because we're gonna do the treatment no matter what. It's gotta come to us, it's just at what point, and make sure we follow the agreements of the industrial user permit that we're gone through Drew. But,
So we can't do anything even if we wanted to? with some
Well,
part?
I'm kind of leaving it up to them. I mean, they know where they are, but we have always said we would provide it. Here's our rate. We're a lot cheaper than Summit Park, and that's what it does. It's that way for the water too. It would save the power plant hundreds of thousands.
So basically, it's out of our hands right now.
Right now it is, yes.
How long is the line from the power plant to Summit Park itself?
Well, they would have to, for the water, it's about 2,000 feet, because they would have to come off of, the only main big enough to supply the power or the flow and the pressure is a Clarksburg Water Board line on Ohio Avenue. The sewer, they're gonna have to come to us one way or the other, coming near Menards and down by the Red Caboose down there.
Through Summit Park?
Yes, that's going through Summit Park. So, there, if you look at the district outline, they're in there. I know one thing they may be looking at is the county commission shift that PSD boundary. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Of course, the easy solution, gentlemen, is that they would just annex into the city, and all these problems go away. But that apparently doesn't fit into their fiscal model to participate in the cost of public life, so here we are. But we propose that again, and I know they're talking to the city manager next week, right?
Sometime, I think it's
So
next week.
maybe we'll be able to cajole them to do the right thing.
Anthony, you have anything else?
I have one other thing to mention, and that was, I want to say, last June, I come to the sanitary board. Sun Valley was asking to tie some additional customers in up Davison Run Road, and that project's moving forward, and should go to construction, probably early next year, Dan. And they'll be upgrading the Armory lift station, and it'll pump us over to the interceptor from there.
That was a condition of them tying on, was upgrading our pumps.
And we work with their engineer, who also works for us, on those upgrades.
Jason?
I don't have anything, sir.
Okay. Councilman Bynum?
No.
Well, before we adjourn, just something I wanted to maybe go back to my report. I want to go ahead and thank the city council for reappointing me to this sanitary board. I certainly appreciate your support, and hopefully I continue to serve in a satisfactory manner. And again,
You ran a fine meeting there, Mr. Ferrari.
Pardon?
You ran a fine meeting,
Thank you very
very
much.
professional.
Wish for adjournment.
So moved.
Second, you're adjourned.
I don't know how this happened. I looked at the matrix.